Hey guys, I'm here today with a review of the book Midwinterblood by Marcus Sedgewick. Now last year I read Marcus Sedgewick's book The Ghosts of Heaven. Beautiful cover, and I loved it so much. It was just amazing. And then I heard good things about his book Midwinterblood too, so I just saw it at the library, decided to pick it up, and I don't regret it. I absolutely loved this book. It was fantastic. It's really hard to describe, but I'm gonna just try to give it a go. So basically it's kind of like Cloud Atlas or Ghosts of Heaven, if you've read either of those, where it takes all these different stories and intertwines them. So you have basically a bunch of short stories, but in the end you get a giant big picture of just this epic tale, really. And it's about two people, Eric and Merle, and it starts way in the future, in 2073, I believe, and the whole book takes place on the Blessed Isle, which is like this island. It's up in the north where the sun doesn't set for a long time, or like there's months of night, like one of those weird geological things. I don't know, but it's cool in the book. So the story is about Eric and Merle, and they meet each other through all their different lives, and there's 7 stories in here, and they take place over centuries, and it's great. It starts off in 2073, then goes 2011, and then 1940, 1902, and then 1848, and then like 10th century, and then like way in the past. And the way that it connects is just beautiful. And the thing I love about the relationship between Eric and Merle is that it's not always lover relationship. It shows how strong a bond love is, even if it's not, you know, emotional or physical necessary, with like another, oh god, it's so hard to describe, but like someone, okay, what I'm trying to say is that like sometimes they're lovers, sometimes they're brother and sister, sometimes it's like a familial relationship, like just like a strong friendship bond. And I really love that about the novel, because it shows all the different forms that love can take, and it's not necessarily just hard to describe. But it's great, it's fantastic. It's 4 stars for sure. Like, I really loved it, so go check it out if you're able to. And if you want, you can stick around, and a little bit of spoilers, just a little bit though. So bye. So just like in the spoilers, I just want to talk about really how much I really liked all the different stories, because the first story we were introduced to Eric and Merle as characters and the Blessed Isle as a location, and I really enjoyed the setting. It was a very interesting setting, and then after that we get the archaeologist in 2011, and that was interesting because you kind of get to see how the dynamic changed with Eric and Merle. Merle is the mom, Eric is the boy. Sorry, these characters took me all over the place, so it's a little confusing. But the archaeologist, we got a little. I like the way that it revealed stuff that would happen. I kind of want to read the book backwards now, the stories in chronological order instead of reverse chronological order, and I feel like I would understand it a lot better. But when you're reading it, you're more intrigued, and you find out everything in the stories as they go along, and I really love that. And then after that we got the Airman, which I thought was a great story, and it really showed just the interesting dynamic. Like, this author, he could have written 7 different stories through the ages about people who fell in love, and got married, ran away together, and like it's an everlasting bond. But I think it's more effective to show the different ways that love, I mean, I just said this, but I'm gonna say it again because it was just so good. Like, I felt more of a bond with the characters. I felt like they had a stronger bond, just rather than just in the first story. And then the next story I got, I love that one, The Painter's Moon, or what, it was about the painter. it was so amazing because like Merle was the little girl, and then she kept going every day and helping out this old man, and his name was Eric, and he would tell her stories, and she just like worshipped him, and they had this like, it wasn't weird as in like a young girl and an old man, like that's creepy. No, it was like a friendship, and it was just it was adorable. And then we get the painting, the creepy painting, which is the title of the book, and it's actually a real painting. It's called Midwinterblood, and it's like a German or something for the title, and it's a cool painting. It's really creepy. And then after that, my favorite story in the entire book, The Unquiet Grave, the ghost story. It was so awesome. Oh my god, the ghost story. It was like creepy and like eerie, but it just had like the feel of like somebody sitting down and telling you a legend, and I thought it was just so effective, and that's why I really loved it. And then the twist with Eric and Merle being Erica and Merle, I love that so much. It just came so out of left field, and then it just made me love it even better because it put their whole story into context and why it was so forbidden, and so great. And then the next story, The Vampire, I really like that one too because it was the only one I think that was from a first person point of view. It was from an older Merle relating the events that had happened to her clan with her brother and the vampire. It was creepy. Like, oh, and Tor shows up like a few times throughout the book. He just shows up in the beginning in 2073, and then he also is the person who rejected Midwinterblood, the painting. So evil. And then of course he's a vampire too. So yeah, did not like him. But I thought it was interesting how like it wasn't just Eric and Merle that were being reincarnated throughout the entire novel. It was other people too, and so like these souls kind of had their place on the island, and they almost kind of repeated the same events in their lives over and over again. It was just really good. And then the last the last one, Midwinterblood, that one fell a little flat for me just because I had seen the painting, and it was basically just describing the painting and like putting a little bit of action on it, and it was so similar to the beginning, which is what the author intended. It really felt full circle, but I never really... The ending was better for me. Like, we get an epilogue where it goes back to 2073 with the events there, and I love the ending because it showed that, you know, even though they both died and there were sacrifices, that they have a future together, and it was just so beautiful. And the last line, I love it so much. It said, and as their blood flows, first from Merle and then from Eric, as their blood mingles on the table and in the soil of the Blessed Isle, they are no longer in love, they have become love itself, and their journey begins, so it is. And that's another thing I love. I just love that quote, by the way. But also, throughout the entire novel, there was this motif of these certain phrases being repeated again and again, like the devil shows when you call his name, or so it is, and there you are. Like, it was just... I didn't pick up on it, like, the first time, but the next, it just kept coming, and it was phrased differently with the times, and it just showed that almost the connectiveness between these two characters throughout the ages, that it was just... it was touching. It was almost, like, transcendental, almost, in the way that it just... This book is awesome, so I loved it, and definitely recommend to everybody to go read. So that's my book talk for today. If you liked it, give it a big thumbs up and comment below on what you think my next read should be, and I'll be posting more videos soon. Bye. Hey guys. Ah, damn it. Can't see it because of the glare, but this book was pretty good. Where I think it's like, I don't know, 23, and Susan crazy. Her daughter. her son.